This is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Last year on the channel was the first time we covered the story of Teon Campbell Pitter. He was only 16 years old when he was stabbed to death in New Cross, South London, as he walked to Double Jab boxing gym to train on the 13th of April. I also covered the initial charges of two teenagers in connection to his death, and they went on to stand trial. On Wednesday the 25th of January 2023, the trial for the two teenagers accused of his murder was concluded with a shocking result. Due to English laws, the teens' names are not allowed to be published, so we shall refer to Teon's killer as Jay, who was aged 16 years old at the time, and was found not guilty of Teon's murder at the Central Criminal Court. Jay stabbed Teon with a Rambo knife, and Teon wasn't armed at the time and also wasn't confrontational when he was killed. The teen that has been convicted of his manslaughter will be sentenced on the 9th of February 2023. A second teenager was found not guilty of murder and also manslaughter. Following the previous coverage on the channel, I was contacted by Teon's father several months ago, and throughout the course of the trial I have kept in touch to try to support and also to be able to keep aware of anything in the trial that needed to be highlighted in this video. It's hard to not notice the strength of the family trying to obtain justice. Even with Teon no longer with us, his mother and father still make sure he is remembered and desire answers for his needless death. Teon's dad also shared all of his concerns in relation to the trial, one of them being about a witness that was dismissed due to the prosecution's mistake and the defendants being able to identify them. During the trial as well, there was even attempts made to blame Teon for his own death by the defence team, and the frustration of his father was evident. In this article I want to highlight potential factors of the case that may have contributed to the killer getting a not guilty for murder. Police were called at 4:04 on the 13th of April to Angus Street, South East London, following reports of a fight in progress. Officers responded with the ambulance service and also the air ambulance. Teon was found in Fordham Park with stab injuries. Despite the best efforts of the paramedics, he was pronounced dead at the scene. A murder investigation was launched, and they previously stated that Teon was sat on a bench, but CCTV showed that he was walking to the club and he was approached by the two youths who were armed with a Rambo knife. The main argument for the defence during the trial was to try to make Teon appear guilty for some sort of involvement or blame in his own death. They brought up an incident that occurred a year ago where Teon was arrested with a knife after a group of children were aggressively arguing in Lewisham High Street. This incident also involved Jay, who would then go on to kill Teon a year later, and this is why they say in the trial that this was an ongoing feud. But in this case, Teon just admitted to having a knife. He never used a knife and didn't try to use it, and he was also attacked when they was off camera. Teon's killer Jay would be heard by police officers saying that he wanted to kill the people that did this. The defence tried to use this to portray Teon as aggressive and intimidating, when in reality this was totally irrelevant to an incident that occurred when he was outside his gym doing what he was meant to be doing. He wasn't armed and he wasn't aggressive. The case in relation to Teon's arrest the year before, he faced no conviction for because he was recognised as being a victim of modern slavery. In 2020, Teon had gone missing for several weeks and his family were trying to search for him. They put out missing appeals and they did their best to try to get him home. The courts recognised that Teon was too young to be able to be prosecuted in relation to drugs and that he was in fact being groomed by other people. Teon was trying to change his life around and he was going to the gym, and the coach at the gym said that he had a brilliant chance of being in the Olympics the following year. The road to change that he was on would not have been easy, but he had the support of a loving family, and with that anything is possible. As I said earlier, Teon's dad updated me throughout the trial, and one aspect of the trial where the witness was dismissed definitely contributed to the not guilty for murder. The mistake was made by the prosecution where they didn't hide the witness and the defendants were able to identify them. Teon's killer's main defence was that Teon was aggressive and that he was trying to defend himself. This claim is weak because Teon wasn't aggressive and didn't have a weapon. His killer had also told people in the past that he wanted to hurt Teon and also hated him. All of these factors contribute to premeditation, which should have resulted in a murder conviction. Thank you to the family of Teon as well for allowing me to publish these statements that was read to the judge in court by his dad. He said, I will start off by saying Teon was our firstborn son. He was a big brother to his younger siblings, and his killer, Jay. You say you never meant to kill Teon, but unfortunately, because of the evil act you done, my son and best friend is no longer with me. I say me, but I mean the whole of my family. We celebrated Teon's 17th birthday at his grave. It was so difficult having conversations with my child and knowing that he can't reply, and seeing his brother break down was heartbreaking. This is our first Christmas without Teon. It just didn't seem right, seeing the children opening up presents. I had to close my eyes and remember the year before and seeing Teon opening his presents. He goes on to address the other teenager that stood trial, who we will call A. And he said, you may not have stabbed Teon, but you knew what you was doing and your involvement, otherwise you wouldn't have covered your face and rode off, and if you were innocent you would have stayed and tried to help. Teon was not perfect, but he's never sat in the dock for taking anybody's life. Teon was very loving, and if it wasn't for Teon I wouldn't be here. During 2020 when I had COVID, he helped me, he went to the shop for me, and he also cleaned up. Teon would always put others first. He finishes by saying that he knows that Teon's killer apologised, but he felt that he did it for his own personal gain. However, we are a God-fearing family, and in time we can forgive, but we will not forget. So I really appreciate you joining me for this story, and thank you to his family for working with me in order to be able to tell it accurately and fairly. This is also available to read on the website at scarcitystudios.com, and I'll be back again very shortly with some more news.